Yes, yes. Welcome to Africa 24. This is one of the best shows. In this era, we have the Olympics 2024 that is happening in Paris, France. And of course, we sent almost 160 athletes so that they can compete in the 26th of July this year, 2024. We are waiting for the track events that are going to start from the 1st. And Kenya is known for the track events, the likes of Kipchoge, Faith Kipyegon, Mary Moraa, Judith Chebet. Those are the people who Olympics 2024 competition. So of course, we also know the EPL is going to start early next month. This is a favorite league that a lot of people follow. So we're going to tell you more about the EPL transfer news, and also after the Euro 2024 was lifted by the Spain, now we are heading for the Olympics. The Olympics have started from 2020, performing well. Our Shujaa, Kenya 7, has already been defeated, and they were on the 9th position. So we are waiting to see. We have a lot of things here to discuss. We have the EPL transfer news and rumors. We also have the friendly pre-seasons that are happening to win, like Chelsea, Man United, and others. In the studio here, I'm joined by coming to today's show so that we can have a short discussion on what is happening. You are a big fan of sports in our country. Welcome, Zekilong.
Glad to be here.
Also joined by Alex Ogego. Alex Ogego, where are you following this conversation from? And tell us more about your
Hello, how is everyone doing?
you can hear me?
Yes.
Well.
So, what was the question again?
We welcome you for today's show. And what is the take happening in our in France?
I'm happy to be here, and I haven't been following much the Olympics, so maybe there I won't talk much, but football there I can talk, but Olympics, nah.
Okay. Most of people who are following the Paris Olympics have been following what is happening. Our because they have not been lucky in this competition. They are sorry for that technical error. Of course, the internet has tried to misbehave. I was trying to explain what's happening in the Paris Olympics 2024. I think the games that are happening in Paris Olympics. and also see how it has been pioneering in those competitions. I have seen some of our players, they need to put more effort when we are competing for these games, because we know that when it comes to this competition, you need to be very strict and also make sure that you are 100% sure that you are going to face your opponents who are playing against Brazil. Our Malkia strikers, they are one of the best in Africa, but still, today they were so down up to, I was like, is this Malkia strikers? So I think this is a very tough competition that is happening in France. And what I can say is that we need to prepare a lot. Still, our Ministry of Sports needs to take being serious, because a lot of things are happening in our country concerning sports. And I think this is one of the things that have really affected our players. Also, we have seen our NOC president, that is Paul Tergat, here for Paris opening ceremony. I saw the Paris opening ceremony, and one of the things that I can say is that our jersey was one of the best. It traded in all jersey that was raised during the Paris opening ceremony, because a lot of people are raised concerns about that jersey. What is your take about the jersey that was used by our Kenyan athletes? You know, Ferdinand Omanyala, the fastest man in Africa, was the one who was raising the flag. I know you have seen what has been trending in the social media about our Kenyan jersey that was raised during the opening.
Before the competition, there was a lot of controversies for the Kenyan team. They looked abysmal, they were not so pleasing to the eye. But I think they corrected it a bit, because in the opening ceremony, I saw some people that I see previously. But that does not mean we don't need to improve. Of course, we need to improve. Because here in Kenya, things how things happen are really short contract to supply and this. So I think if we have competitive tendering model, then we can come up with the best. But all the same, it's not just to compete the people in the Olympics, especially on the track events where we are good at. So I know we will get some gold there. But in terms of other sports, we are really lagging behind. As you have said, for the volleyballs, 3 deals set, so they never wanted it set, which is really disappointing. We need to improve Kenyans on it will always also be interesting to see how 100 meters race where we have Nyala. We'll see how he performs. We'll obviously wish him the best, and because he will be Jamaica and nations, because Kenya. Having said all that, we wish Kenya all the best, and at least be the first team in the African nations. Yep. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Kilong. Of course, I know you have been following what is happening in the Paris Olympics 2024. I'm also joined by Leo Nyambaya, one of the best political analysts when it comes to anything that is concerning politics. But I can see he is enjoying I don't know what is the location. The team that went to represent our country there. Nyambaya, I think you can hear me. Or Nyambaya has already disappeared. So we are talking about the Paris Olympics. Mr. Alex, what is your take about the Paris Olympics that are happening in France? Of course, we have our athletics there. You know, we have one of the best athletics that have joined in the Paris Olympics. What is your take and what is your view about the Paris Olympics? Are we going to lift a lot of gold medals, silver medals, and also the bronze when it comes to this Paris Olympics? Mr. Alex. Well, I think we have some of the technical problems with Mr. Alex, but I think you will be back with another burger. Of course, what is happening in Paris? I've seen yesterday, the day after yesterday, France. You know, France are the main host of this Paris Olympics. They lifted their first gold when it comes to the rugby because they won their first game and they won the gold. This is one of the best impressions that you can give the host for those tournaments because it will just be so shameful, for example, to host those big games and still you cannot win. The same thing we saw when it came to the Euro 2024. Germans, they were the host for the Euro 2024, but again, they lost the competition, whereby Spain won. So I think the rugby is 7 for the France. They gave them a big victory, and I know the France people are proud of their country. Shujaa are defeated today. They were defeated by Brazil 3-0. So what I saw there is like we lack that coordination when it comes to the striking because the Brazilian women were very sharp when it comes to the striking, and that's why they won the 3 sets. So I think the likes of Triza when they come back to Kenya, they are going to give us more practice and also try to show what they can do when it comes to this competition because we expect our team to perform best. You know, we should not always last with the track events, long distance. We should also produce one of the best when it comes to the rugby. Shujaa lost. When it comes to Malkia strikers, they have still lost. Also, we saw Alexandra Dolo yesterday. She lost. So we should also make other sports segments active, not all depending on the track event. But you know, track events is our own area. We dominate on that region. Apart from Olympics 2024, Mr. Kilong, you have been seeing what is happening in our FKF, of course. You saw the question is, what I'm asking is, what is your take about the next years? Abab Mamba was fired. Now we have Onesmus Kipchumba Murkomen. Do you think Kipchumba qualifies to be the next this year's, or we should go back to the drawing board and get another year?
Of course, I've ever mentioned here before, here in Kenya, we play too much politics, even with things like sports, because how can Onesmus comment with the CS for sports? And also for youth, that is absurd. He was one of the CS was doing controversy for this Kenya Kwanza government, but yet we see again he has been returned in a different capacity. We know he's a football fan, a Manchester United fan who travels to Old Trafford using our taxpayers' money and enjoys himself. So I don't know now when he's the sports cabinet secretary, he will be taking he will always be going to be taking a delegation to Old Trafford for benchmarking. That's what I'm foreseeing because we have this kind of competent leaders or competent, yes, especially in the sports. But I don't think he will take us anywhere. I don't think he will be able to help our bid in the 2027 CON. I don't know if you fast track the building of talent ahead stadium, because we know the stadiums that Kenya Kwanza has been proposing, they just launch and leave it that way. So we don't know if we'll be able to be in a position to host the AFCONs, especially with Morocco men on the helm of the cabinet of the sports sector. So that's what I think. Really.
Yeah, a lot of people are asking questions about the nomination of Onesmus Kipchumba Murkomen to the docket of sports. Well, Ababu Namwamba is one of the people who has been so serious when it comes to our FKF and also generally the Minister of Sports in our country since he was nominated by President William Ruto. And then because of the Gen Z protesting that are happening in our country, it led to CS Ababu Namwamba being one of the people who were dismissed during this cabinet dismissal by William Ruto. So what I can say is that we have a long way to go, but I will always say our sports industry, if we will take this thing very serious, then I'm very sure that our country will be in good condition. Because what will happen when we get someone who is serious, someone who understands football, someone who knows how to nurture talent? Because if you are the sports yes, then you are next to the president. So you should always make sure that every department is active. So Abab Namamba, since he came, is the one who even made sure that the ban that was given by the FIFA has been lifted, and also he supported our Kenya under 17. That is why we are now in the World Cup. Again, he has been making sure that a lot of people in the sports area are being active. You just don't go there and just be idle. He has been making sure that our activities are going on well. The FKF, FKF President Nick Mwendwa, he has now served for the 2 times, 8 years, but still we have not have this election. So what is happening is that again we changed this minister of sports. We had Abam Namamba, who has been so competent with what he's doing, making sure that our sports industry is in good condition. But again, the dismissal affected him, and this is where we go to Onesmus Kipchumba Murkomen. People were asking themselves, how did Kipchumba Murkomen landed from the former infrastructure department? Now he's in the sports. What does he ask when it comes to qualification for sports? So this is the big question: is Kipchumba Murkomen qualifying for this position, or now it will be a big doom in our sports industry? But we hope him for the best, because we have a lot of things to do when it comes to sports. We have athletics, we have rugby, we have judo, we have also volleyball, netball, football. And the big question is, when will Kenyan men qualify for the World Cup or even Africa Cup of Nations? We have seen what happened in Ivory Coast in the month of February, whereby teams qualify for the Africa. We saw the likes of Congo, DRC Congo, South Africa. Teams performed best. Even our neighbors, Tanzania, they were in the Africa Cup of Nations. So we're asking, how is Kipchumba Murkomen qualifying for this position? Is he going to fit, or is he going to deliver to our sports industry, or it will be a big mistake that president has ever did? A lot of question has been raised. Even Onesmus Kipchumba Murkomen went ahead and apologized to the Kenyans that whoever I made a mistake, I apologize. So we're waiting to see how is he going to come back to the sports industry, because this is our area. This is what most of people depend on, and he has to know that when he's coming to this area, it's one of the sensitive ministries that we have. That whenever you go there, you have to make sure everything is okay. You will be having a lot of challenges, so make sure when you go there, you will deliver the same way Ababu Namamba did. He tried, but on my view, on my take, I will always say president should have given that the appointment to Ababu Namamba. I had the chance to go and attend the FKF Gala Awards that were happening in the Safari Park Hotel, and there I met Musalia Mudavadi. I also met the former legend Musa Otieno. Also met the best coaches in our Kenyan football, and also every club was represented in the FKF Gala Awards, whereby our Kenyan players were awarded. I had a chance to interview and also talk with one of the most valuable player, who is Austin Odhiambo, who is playing for Gor Mahia. I also had the opportunity to talk to Lydia Okoth, who plays for the Kenya Police Bullet, and also had the chance to talk with Mildred Cheche, our under 17 coach, and also had the chance to talk with our best uh, key coach in Kenya. Of course, I will say that Robert Matano, after he exited from Tusker. So I had a lot of information that I collected from there. But what I can say is that we need to upgrade our FKA Premier League, because when I talked to Austin Odhiambo, he told me that still we are trying, but we have not just gotten to that climax whereby we can make our league go to the next level as you compete like teams from Tanzania, the likes of Yanga, Simba, and so on. So I had the chance to talk to Nick Mwendwa. And Nick Mwendwa said that the preliminary of the cup competitions that are happening earlier September this year will be played in the national stadium, Nyayo National Stadium. And we have a problem with stadiums in our country. That is why we went to play it in Malawi during the World Cup qualification. But Nick Mwendwa said that Nyayo will be ready for us in the preliminary for the cup competitions that are happening earlier September. And teams will play there, but immediately after the competition, then the Nyayo National Stadium will be closed for renovation, because they want to prepare for the CHAN competition that are happening earlier next year. So the big question that Nick Mwendwa was asked by most journalists there is, how is Kenya prepared for hosting AFCON 2027? Now we have a new ministry. We have someone who came in between Ababu Namwamba. You know, we have the pending projects that are happening. Ababu Namwamba had already started a lot of projects in our country, and now we have a new person. How is this person going to feature into this project and make sure that they are going to deliver before 2027? But the FK president Nick Mwendwa said that although they are having problems, but they will try so that we can host AFCON 2027. So the big question is going to happen. The project have been handed over to the KDF officers who are trying to make sure that the projects are going on well. So we are waiting to see what is going to happen. The FK president also talked about the referees. The referees in our country. He has said that the referees in our country have really improved, because now they are picking those who have the qualification, those who have gone through the training, those who have been involved in several matches. That is why he said that he has no doubt with the refereeing in our country. But again, we have been having problems. We talked to Robert Matano, and they said that the main problem that you have in our country, that was contrary to what the FK president said, that the referees in our country are not serious with what they are doing, because you see most of the times they give offside goals, and this one affects and also demoralizes players. So a lot of things were said there in the FKF Gala Awards, and we also talked with Mildred Cheche. Mildred Cheche, she said that she is really prepared for the World Cup under 17, and the girls are ready. She also said about the departure from the country so that they can go and train away from our country. And the journalists they asked a lot of questions. Why are we going to train in another country and yet we have stadiums? But again, the question for stadium was answered by FKA President Nick Mwendwa, whereby he said, we are trying to renovate Nyayo National Stadium. We are trying to renovate Kasarani Stadium and also the Dandora. But the question is Dandora even able to host even 10,000 people? So that is the question that we're asking as we prepare for AFCON 2027. So, Mr. Kilong, this is the question that I want to ask you. Do you think FKA President Nick Mwendwa and the new CS Kipchumba Murkomen are going to be compatible when it comes to operating sports in our country?
I'm not sure, and I don't think that would be possible because there's no proof that, especially for a CS, that he can perform in the sports sector. So we really need to hope that eventually don't really fail to host the 2027 AFCON, because that will be a great opportunity for us to develop in terms of sports, and also to be a great opportunity for us to showcase our talent, and also people will be interested in football, especially watching, because here in Kenya people don't really watch football. Uh, Instead, they watch football in stadiums. Instead, they watch European competitions like EPL and Champions League. So, us hosting the 2027 AFCON will be a big stride in our sports industry, especially in the footballing sector. So, we need our CS, we need the FKF president to step up and make sure that Kenya go ahead and be ready, especially for the stadiums that we have. Kasarani, Nyayo, those should be renovated to comply with the FIFA standards, because it's a pity that we can't even, on our qualifiers, we can't play here in Kenya. We have to go and rent a space in Malawi. Imagine, when Kenya was supposed to host the game. That is a standstill state of affairs. And normally say we Kenyans are developed, but when it comes to sports, we are really, really lagging behind. So I think
Yeah, thank you so much, Zeki Long. But I want just to say our sports should be taken serious in our country, because the day we'll make sports very a big priority in the country, then this is when we are going to achieve more and also make our country move on, and our Rambe stars will be recognized in the continent of Africa. So I think everyone should be taking this thing serious. And if Kipchumba Murkomen, as you are going to watch this interview, make sure you take this sports industry very serious, because that is all what we need in our country. So leaving alone about the FK, so leaving alone the Minister of Sports and also what is happening in our country, we move to transfer news. We are going to tackle more about the transfer news that are happening. Manchester United, they have already signed a lot of players, the likes of Lenny Yoro. Chelsea, still, they have more than 10 players now they have been signed. But we don't know even where these players came from. Zeglong, what is your take about the transfer rumors, specifically Chelsea? Because you saw Arsenal, they have signed Ricardo Calafiori. Calafiori is one of the best defenders and also attacking midfielder. But the Chelsea, they could not be able to spot even a player during the Euro 2024 tournament. Our player, Maka Kukurela, did a good job. So what is your take about this, the transfer news of course, Chelsea? What is happening? What is your take about next season? Predict about Chelsea next season.
yeah, we know Bolivia, we are Chelsea fans, and the last few days I've been watching. We have played two friendlies. So first one with what was the name? Wrexham, and the second was Celtic, and we drew the first game, and the second game we were absolutely thrashed. We okay. We are saying it's pre-season. We're just starting over, but we really need to improve quickly. We have a new management in place, Enzo Maresca. I was watching the training videos. It looks like the young boys are having good time, but now when it comes to the field, they're not reflecting that. But also, people are saying it's match fitness, so we'll wait and see what will happen. I see Bonnie has dropped. All the same, I will continue to comment about the, the Chelsea, uh, the Chelsea profile as it stands. So the new management has come in place 2 weeks ago. We have started the training, and what is happening is that they themselves are trying to build an identity for the team. So we are waiting to see if by August 18th, when the Premier League will be starting, and we have an interesting match with Man City, if by then we'll have managed to come up with a brilliant squad that can compete, because we need Chelsea to compete in the transfer uh, season. We know Chelsea is a big player. We sign good players, but of late we've been signing young players. I don't see us making a move for players who are established, players who have shown that they can perform, but we just focusing on potential. So that's our problem. So in the coming future, it will be interesting to see what Chelsea will do, still the transfer season. This model of signing young players is it's okay for the long term, but for the short term, it hurt us big time. And remember, as Chelsea fans, we are we have been used to winning. So when we don't win, as the fans, we get into depressive states. So we're not like Manchester or Arsenal, who are who are who are used to not winning. Us, we are built differently. We have a mentality of winning. So coming, we hope Enzo Maresca will make us compete. We need the cup this season. That's non-negotiable. We need to be in the top four. That's non-negotiable. We can't be playing Conference League at Chelsea. That's not our level. We need to be on top. So that's my comments on Chelsea so far. So we'll be here to see what happens in the coming few weeks. And also, I'll comment a little about Manchester United, whom they have been very active in the transfer season. They've signed Lele Yoro, who is a good upcoming player, especially for the defensive side. And I read somewhere that he got an injury, so that's a bummer for Manchester. But also, how I know Manchester is like they have a reputation in spoiling uh, young players, so they do not develop them. So we're yet to see what will happen. Bori, are you back? Okay, waiting to see who is this. Who has joined? Seems Bori has a issue with the internet.